In the mighty kingdom of Zandora, nestled between rivers and mountains that kissed the skies, lived a prince named Darion. He was tall, handsome, and strong, yet his heart was swollen with pride. From the moment he learned how to walk, servants bowed at his every step. When he spoke, even if it was foolish, ministers clapped as if his words were golden. One afternoon, Darion strolled into the palace courtyard, where farmers brought their harvest as tribute. He winked his nose at the sight of mud-stained baskets filled with cassava, yams, and corn. "Is this what you call food?" he scoffed. "Kicked a yam aside, I would rather dine on jewels than eat what you peasants dig from the dirt." The farmers bowed low, biting their tongues, but among themselves they whispered, "Our prince has no heart. He knows not the sweat that feeds him." Even the queen, who adored her son, worried in silence. But the king only said, "He is young. Time will humble him." Time, however, had no effect. Darion grew more arrogant with each passing day. The festival of the moon was the grandest celebration in Zandora. Torches lit the sky. Drums echoed through the streets, and laughter spilled from every home. At the palace gates, an old woman appeared, her clothes torn, her hair grey, her hands trembling as she leaned on a crooked staff. She called to the guards, "Please, kind sirs, I am hungry. Let me have some bread." The guards looked uneasy. No beggar had ever dared step this close to the palace. But before they could speak, Prince Darion himself appeared in gleaming robes of silk and gold. When his eyes fell upon the woman, he sneered, "Bread? For you? Why should the palace waste food on a wretched creature like you? Crawl back to the gutters where you belong." The crowd fell silent. Ashamed, the old woman lifted her head, and though her body was frail, her eyes glowed like fire. She whispered, her voice crying through the night, "Prince Darion, your crown blinds you. You mock the poor, but you know nothing of hunger. You scorn the weak, but you know nothing of struggle. You will learn." Darion laughed. "What can you do to me, you old crow?" The woman raised her hand, and the moonlight shimmered around her. "When the sun rises, you shall have no crown, no palace, no name." And then she vanished. Darion awoke the next morning, not on his golden bed, but in the mud outside the palace walls. His silk robes were gone, replaced by rags. His hands were dirty, his face unrecognizable. When he staggered to the palace gates, the guards beat their spears against the ground. "Beggar, be gone," one shouted. "But it is I, Prince Darion," he cried. The guards laughed. "Our prince wears gold, not rags. Leave before we drive you away." Confused and terrified, Darion stumbled into the village. The farmers he once mocked spat at him. The merchants shoved him aside. Even children hurled stones, calling him filthy beggar. For the first time in his life, the prince felt hunger twist in his belly. He stretched out his hands for alms, but no one gave him food. That night, he slept on cold earth, with only the stars as his blanket. His heart trembled with shame. Days turned into weeks. Darion wandered from place to place until he came upon a group of farmers in the fields. They were bent over, their hands blistered, sweat dripping from their brows. "Please," Darion begged, "give me work. I will do anything for food." The farmers looked at him suspiciously, but one said, "If you can use a hoe, you can join us." Darion lifted the hoe, but his soft hand blistered quickly. He groaned, cursed, and fell to the ground. The farmers only laughed. "You wanted work, boy. Now learn to earn your bread." So Darion worked. Day after day, he bent his back under the sun, learning patience, endurance, and humility. The farmers shared their food with him, teaching him that even little, when shared, is enough. One evening, as they sat around the fire eating roasted corn, Darion asked, "Why do you toil so hard, yet remain cheerful?" An old farmer smiled, "Because the earth feeds those who respect it, and joy comes not from gold, but from grateful hearts." Darion bowed his head, his arrogance melting away with every passing day. One night, under the full moon, the old beggar appeared again, her eyes glowing with the same strange fire. Darion fell to his knees. "Mother, please forgive me. I was blind, proud, and cruel. Now I know the pain of hunger, the weight of labor, and the strength of kindness." The woman touched his head gently. "You have learned, my son. A crown is nothing without humility. A king who scorns his people is no king at all." At her words, a warm light surrounded Darion. His rags turned into royal garments. His face shone, and he was restored to his true form. When Darion returned to the palace, his parents wept with joy. The people watched in awe as the prince bowed before them. "I was blind with pride," he confessed, "but now I see clearly. From this day, I shall not be a ruler above you, but a servant among you." And true to his words, when he became king, Darion ruled with justice, kindness, and humility. He dined with farmers, walked among traders, and listened to the wisdom of scholars. No longer the arrogant prince, he was remembered in history as Darion, the humble king, a ruler loved by all. And thus, the kingdom of Zandora flourished.